Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 11 of season 1 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. called The Magical Place. Well, here it is, folks, the episode where we finally start to get some real answers on exactly what it is that that brought Coulson back from the dead. So this episode definitely seems to shoot down quite a few fan theories that basically the most popular one being that Coulson was a robot or a life model decoy, or a clone or something like that. Generally speaking, I'm okay with the explanation we're given. It's just the Fury moved heaven and earth. Well, what exactly does that mean? I mean, is that thing that they're using on Coulson some kind of alien technology that the S.H.I.E.L.D. already have? Is it something they stole from Tony Stark? Is it something that Hydra cooked up back in the days of World War II? Like some real explanations as to exactly what went on here would really help. But exactly how much more we'll ever have explained to us, well, who knows. But overall speaking, this episode felt okay. Like, the stuff that was going on with Coulson, I really enjoyed. This is really, I think, what Greg Clark has been waiting for this whole season. This is really, really his time to shine. And let's face it, Greg Clark is really the reason a lot of us are in. We're here because we like Coulson and we wanted to find out, hey, how is it that Coulson is alive? Now, that's not to take anything away from the other characters that we've been introduced to over the course of this season. I think these are all really well done characters. They certainly could use maybe a little bit more polish, but overall, we've been introduced to some good characters. They've all had their moments to shine. They've all had their little spotlights, and I've grown to become, really fond of everybody on the team. But I really just was not super interested in what was going on with Skye. It was obviously that she was going to be the one that would find Coulson because, that's just that just is what fits best in terms of storytelling given their relationship. And of course, you have to think that after him, giving that sign of trust to her by taking off her bracelet, that Coulson is probably going to maybe rethink that whole, yeah, we're not going to help you find out the truth about your parents after all, because, well, now Coulson's the one who knows what it's like to have the truth about something extraordinarily important to their life concealed from him by S.H.I.E.L.D. That really puts him and Skye in the same boat in a lot of ways. And Coulson was already very sympathetic towards Skye. That's why he took her turning out to still be working for the Rising Tide so hard. So where they go from here, well, whatever happens, I definitely think there's going to be a much, much tighter bond between Coulson and Skye, which is cool. And I definitely enjoyed Skye, basically Melinda May cosplaying for all intents and purposes. It really does continue to show that, as I've said before, it looks like Skye is going to end up walking a little bit down Melinda's path more. And, we even see that May is kind of doing a little bit of what's, taking a few pages out of Skye's book and, manipulating people, using that social engineering in order to get what it is that she wants, rather than just, whooping the hell out of somebody, which apparently so far has generally been May's go-to tactic. But there were some things about this episode that I was really disappointed about. First of all, the way they killed off Poe. He seemed like a potentially interesting character, and they just never really did anything with him. And I'm not really very happy with what's going on with Victoria Hand. That she's just basically there as a straight-up foil. Her job is to be the obstructive, bureaucrat who is pretty easily unnecessarily concerned with rules and procedures in the face of situations where she needs to show flexibility. And seriously, if Fury moved heaven and earth in order to bring Coulson back from the frickin' dead, why is he not here handling this situation personally? Why does he not say, Victoria, let Coulson's team go and hunt down and rescue Coulson. You take care of the various centipede operations around the world. Or again, like I said, why is he not out there like either leading the hunt for Coulson himself or leading the charge on taking down these centipede cells himself? Now, granted, I did enjoy the brief, cameo by Jackson, but still, yeah. Anyway, I did sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here, that we do start to get a little bit more insight into what's going on with Coulson as a character. We really, up until this point, we know that Coulson's a bit of a fanboy for Captain America. We know he's got an amusing sense of humor. We know he's Fury's right-hand man, his go-to guy. But beyond that, who Phil Coulson is as a person has really not been highlighted. And here we really start to kind of get some insight into that. Now, we've heard the cellist mentioned before. Coulson even sort of reminisces about her with Grant. And here we see it confirmed that Coulson really was genuinely in love with this woman. He was very much struck by realizing that by choosing the life that he has chosen, that of a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, that his ability to have a real life with this woman is pretty much an impossibility. And of course, the whole thing about her crying when she told that he had been killed in New York, and then that just really rubs salt in the wounds of how S.H.I.E.L.D. did this to him and manipulated his mind. He cannot deny that Nick Fury has manipulated and lied to him. The one man in the world he probably trusts the most. Now, granted, Fury seems to have had a very good reason for what he did, but there's a point where good reasons for doing something and just plain and simple morality, where they meet, where you run out of excuses. And, well, that line has been crossed. But then, part of the job of being the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., part of the burden of being Nick Fury, is that you are the one who has to do that. You have to make these terrible decisions. You have to use and manipulate and lie to people that you trust, that you care about. Not because you want to, but because it is what you feel is necessary for the greater good. And, well, let's face it, how much could any of us, even someone as loyal as Phil Coulson, how much of being lied and manipulated and used could any of us take? How much is dedication to what you believe in enough to make you put away your need for genuine trust? Well, questions for all of us to think about, especially Phil Coulson. And then there's the whole issue of, he saw his father killed in front of him. Well, that opens up a lot of possibilities for some very interesting stuff, but it doesn't really tell us very much about Coulson. It's just we see a seed planted. It doesn't go any further than that. But still, overall, oh yes, of course we can't forget about Mike Peterson, apparently now a prisoner and forced agent of the folks at Centipede. Definitely not good, but the upside to this is that when they do Coulson and his guys do eventually save Peterson, they've got a convenient excuse for how to explain him betraying the team back on the bridge. It's like, oh yeah, he was under control. They were gonna blow up, make it, do this or we'll blow your head up. So yeah, And of course, one complaint here, dude, if the whole thing about Michael Peterson's character turning out to be alive is supposed to be a surprise, maybe you shouldn't put J. August. Maybe you should not put the actor's name prominently in the beginning episode's credits. Okay, save those for the end credits. Yeah. This is like, oh, J. August Richards is in this episode. Well, I guess that that definitely means that Mike Peterson survived. I hate when shows do that. I hate it. Ah. Anyway, everybody, that's all I have for you this time around. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and of course you can follow me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi. Until next time, take care and have a good one.